Random? Duanfei asked about uncertainty. Why don't you fight back? I can only take the initiative then, the original life form said as it rushed towards Duanfei. He was seriously thinking about his remaining skill fragments. He had more than 390 fragments, and he could merge them up to 3 times. If he merged them into a low-level skill, it would certainly be worse than upgrading his existing skills. He dodged the attacks while thinking. What should I do? He continued to block the attacks from the original life form. Come on, counterattack. Don't disappoint me. It taunted him. Suddenly, the original life form stopped and launched a powerful attack that shattered the pillars around. Duanfei barely dodged the attack, but there was a slight gap. He had to gamble. He used the 6-color therapy and decided to say, "Evolution tree, proceed with the merge." "I understand," the evolution tree answered him. "Are you scared? You were so arrogant just now," it sneered when it saw Duanfei attacking it. Duanfei merged with the iron-level de-evolution tree. He activated his mental power attack and said to the evolution tree, "The merge is up to you." "Got it. Are you trying to be cool?" The original life form looked down on him when he saw him launching an attack at it. Duanfei merged with the steel-level de-evolution tree. He couldn't merge anymore at level D, Duanfei said as he used his mental power to control some rocks to attack it. It smashed some of the rocks with its fists and shouted, "Use all your strength." The notification board showed that he merged with the explosive level F evolution tree. Continue. Duanfei felt that he didn't have enough power to defeat the original life form. He suddenly turned around and looked at the steel-level de-evolution tree. Continue. Inside the room, Xinu worriedly said, "Anna, I can feel 2 huge sources of power clashing. I wonder how my brother is doing. This is not a fight we can interfere with. We have to trust him." Yes. Anna believed that Brother Duan would win. Outside, the fight was still very intense. Duanfei's clothes were no longer clean and intact. He was sitting and looking at the smoke. The original life form walked out of the smoke and said, "The result is still destroying this place. It doesn't matter, I will rebuild it later." The evolution tree suddenly said, "Duanfei, we don't have enough skill fragments to merge anymore. We should find a way to escape from here." "No. Xinu and Anna are still inside. Escaping will be even harder. Besides, we came here to absorb the original life form and increase our evolution level so that you can recover your memory. Evolution tree, you once said you trust me, right?" Duanfei was determined to defeat the original life form instead of running away. He took off his coat that was torn. The original life form roared at him, "Meaningless. You have disappointed me too much. Do you still remember the first time we pushed back the zombies and got the universal skill fragment that increased 20%? Use it to perform the final fusion." Duanfei decided to try all his abilities. The evolution tree hesitated a bit but then said, "I understand." A notification board appeared, consuming 100 skill fragments and initiating fusion. "O light that exists there, rises from the depths of despair. Die. The original reindeer species is about to launch its final move." Xinu looked anxiously at the evolution tree, which was still continuing to fuse. The original species charged straight at Duanfei. Bright squares appeared, a helicopter flew in the sky to observe the battle situation and update information for everyone. "Greetings, dear viewers. This is the first battle zone with zombies. In front of us is the road where the monsters are fleeing. It seems they have no way out. In charge of this area is Team A of the Flame Base. He has dealt with the last zombie. All the zombies here have been eliminated. Next, I will take you straight to 3 other chase scenes. Our team leader did it, it was not difficult at all. But why did the zombies run to this place and stop? Is it related to this dragon statue? The people wondered with each other. Don't think nonsense, they couldn't run anymore so they stopped. What does it have to do with this dragon statue? Go report to the commander that Team A has completed the mission, the team leader confidently said. Yes, a soldier obeyed the order. Inside the command tent of the bases, Commander Chow was sitting and waiting, listening to the phone. After listening, he turned and said, Team A has completed the chase mission. Teams C and D will also finish soon, the other commanders heard. Good news, great. We are indeed very strong when we cooperate. But Team B has not yet carried out the chase mission. Team B is La Commander's team. What difficulties did they encounter? Do they need assistance? La Commander asked in surprise. There's a report that your team did not encounter any disadvantages at all but stopped halfway. The commander doesn't worry too much. I have sent someone to check the situation, it probably won't be a big problem, La Commander said contemptuously. Next it's our turn to go out. Now we will go and eliminate the remaining zombies, then victory will belong to us. The zombies went together in one direction. Lai Fong and Ha Ka were hiding and observing the zombies. She felt that everything was wrong. Lai Fong asked Ha Ka who was sitting next to him. That's right, these zombies don't have any fighting will at all. We stop and they do too, only when we attack do they run away. Maybe there is some conspiracy going on, Ha Ka said her suspicion. You mean they deliberately lure us to some place? This is just my guess, everything is too smooth, maybe we have been lured here. I have participated in battles with zombies before but it doesn't look like it now, I'm a bit worried. Lai Fong, take the soldiers back to La Commander's tent. I will stay here and observe a little more. I understand, be careful. You are truly an elite army, aren't you? You can notice such a small detail, but we can't let you do whatever you want. Just do your mission, you original race succubus. Calamity, an unknown disaster, stood behind the two and spoke. Apart from you, the other three teams have completed their missions. At the place where the other three teams gathered, everyone was on alert. An original race creature stood above and looked at the crowd and said, just a little more and our demon king will be resurrected. The original race succubus Calamity put her hands on her hips and said, this is not my mission originally, but because that stupid reindeer is absent, there is no other way. Please cooperate a little, okay? Ha Ka was scared and turned his head to look at her and asked, are you a zombie? After this is done, I have to catch that reindeer and make him pay. The original race creature continued to say. At the place where the original race reindeer was, he was hit in the chin by Duan Fei and pushed back by him. A notification board appeared, merge into level 5 destruction power, level 1 destruction power. Choose one target, all weaknesses of the target will be exposed. The number of weaknesses will randomly increase over time. The duration depends on the target's strength. During the attack, all weaknesses will gradually be revealed. You can also choose the target's weaknesses. Duan Fei launched a destruction attack on the reindeer's weakness that he had found. He looked at him suspiciously. Duan Fei just looked at him and raised one hand towards him. He smiled happily, your kid must have been provoked by someone, right? And quickly continued to attack. Stop it, I will make you cry like rain. His attack fell down but missed Duan Fei. He threw a big rock at him and shouted, why are you running? Aren't you very good at pretending? Come on. Duan Fei was running when he detected danger and turned back. He slashed several times at the big rock and threw some pieces of rock that had been cut down at the reindeer. He hit the rocks while shouting at Duan Fei's place, what are you doing there? Just hiding in the distance and playing this cheap trick with me? Suddenly Duan Fei appeared behind him. He turned around vigilantly and swung a punch behind him, wanting to hit him sneakily. After breaking his ribs, he would lose all defense and then attack his weakest point. Duan Fei quickly punched him in the ribs and launched a destruction attack. The reindeer spat out a mouthful of blood and was very angry, "You bastard," and attacked him. He used his strength to block his attack with both hands and used destruction power to find more of his weaknesses and increase the number of weaknesses. This time there were 2 weaknesses, one on his shoulder and one on his biceps. Seeing his weakness, Duan Fei focused on attacking it. The reindeer was hit by a move and flew back. Anna and Xianyu were standing and watching the battle. Duan Fei won. Anna shouted happily. But Xianyu next to her focused on him. No, his strength is not only decreasing, but it is getting stronger and stronger. Alright, stop pretending. The move just now couldn't hurt you. Duan Fei looked at him and said. Oh, you saw through me? Is my acting skill that bad? Then let's get to the main point. The reindeer came out of the bushes and said. The original reindeer suddenly stood still. The evolution tree appeared next to Duan Fei and reminded him to be careful. His strength was increasing a lot. He was serious. Duan Fei observed him. Now we have broken the power grid. We can shorten the distance between us and him. We just need to find an opportunity to focus on that place and make him lose his fighting power. Then the victory will belong to us. The longer the time, the more weaknesses there are. This battle depends on time, he said as he rushed towards the reindeer. Power grid: each time you attack a weakness, you will receive 4% of the target's attributes on your body, depending on the target's strength. At the same time, there can be up to 2 weaknesses, depending on the skill level. The reindeer looked at Duan Fei and commented. Now it seems that his attack is stronger than before. Although he also has some effort, he can't compete with me after all. But I have to think a lot because of this kid, how ridiculous. He stood and watched Duan Fei attack him. You rag human, your fate has been decided. He despised and said. The fists of both sides collided and the eyes of the reindeer lit up. He was punched in the face by Duan Fei. He attacked his weakness and received 4% of his attributes. The notification board appeared. He was angry and cursed. You rotten kid. I'm bored of playing with you. He attacked Duan Fei again. He launched a continuous attack. Duan Fei had to observe and think. The attack was getting more and more fierce. He had to find an opportunity to attack his weakness. Fight back, aren't you very strong? He provoked and punched him down. The reindeer looked at the light and the smoke. Suddenly there was fire attacking him, but he easily avoided it. He looked up at Duan Fei and said contemptuously, it's useless. He continued to attack him. Attacking like this is useless to me. He stood still and said. I advise you not to waste your energy. I am the leader of speed, I can see you very clearly. He punched Duan Fei in the stomach and grabbed his head. It seems that my expectation for you is too high. Suddenly Duan Fei punched him in the right rib. He attacked his weakness again and received another 4% of his attributes. Both sides retreated back. The reindeer brushed his hand over where he was punched and said, it's like tickling me, you shouldn't use such a weak punch to attack me. Duan Fei looked at him, you will know soon if it hurts or not. Now Duan Fei had attacked his weakness 5 times in total and received 20% of his attributes. Your mouth is hard, huh? I still have other tasks, so I'll stop playing with you here. He suddenly rushed up and attacked him proactively. The reindeer exclaimed, not bad, not bad, your courage makes me quite interested. He saw him approaching and swung his arm to punch him back as he got close to him. Duan Fei jumped up and used his leg to attack from above. He used his hand to block it, this time the attack was strong. He used his hand to catch his leg and slammed his whole body down, then pulled him up again. Duan Fei did not let it hold him any longer and quickly got up and used the fire charm technique to shoot at its face and swiftly jumped up to hit its back. He had attacked its weak point and gained 4% of its attributes. The reindeer was hit in the back and was falling down when Duan Fei used the Iron Shadow technique to attack another weak point of it. He had a total of 28% of its attributes. It was knocked into the air and Duan Fei activated the fire charm technique and focused his gaze upward. After identifying the places to attack, he launched attacks on its arms, shoulders, thighs, and knees, hitting its weak points one after another. He now had a total of 44% of its attributes and it was continuously hit by Duan Fei's attacks. The reindeer was furious and roared, "Stop right there. Next, I will show you my true power." It flew through the fire and attacked Duan Fei, who was shocked to see the powerful attack coming down. Duan Fei dodged the attack of the original life reindeer, which unexpectedly launched the reindeer attack, increasing its speed by 50% and quickly moved behind him and angrily struck down hard. "You are the first one to force me to this extent. Dying under my strongest state is also an honor for you. Come here." "Strongest state?" Duan Fei asked. He dodged its attack and counterattacked, punching it in the face. "It's nothing at all." He quickly retreated after hitting another weak point of it. He was infuriated by Duan Fei and rushed up and shouted, "You rotten brat, I will make you shut up." Clearly, he was just a trash of level D. "Although I don't know what you are doing, you can't be my opponent." "Absolutely not." It easily blocked its attack. Duan Fei said seriously, "Too noisy," and he attacked its weak point again. The reindeer was hit by him and fell face down on the ground. Suddenly it activated its power and pushed itself up and screamed loudly. Duan Fei looked at it in surprise, thinking that he did not expect it to still have such great strength. It stopped its force and split the ground into a large piece and lifted it up. Duan Fei stood on the piece of land that it lifted up and was trying to balance himself so as not to fall. The evolution tree warned him to be careful, that it was really angry now. The sea water from below sprayed up. Duan Fei thought seriously, "Now I have 52% of its power, it can't win anymore no matter what. I have to absorb you, original life species." He was determined. In the water, the original life species suddenly appeared next to Duan Fei and launched a surprise attack, saying, "Die." The sea wave was split in half after its attack, but it did not hit Duan Fei. It kept wondering, why can't I hit him? Why is he really angry? Anna and Xinu stood watching the battle worriedly. Brother Duankaka launched a powerful attack in the middle of the sea water shining down. The original life species reindeer was hit by his move and did not understand why it lost. "I lost. Where did I go wrong? How could I lose to a level D like you? How ridiculous. Original life species, we have lost one after another under his hand. I am not convinced, but everything is over. It's all over. Is this guy really human? Why?" It hurriedly asked Duan Fei, "How dare a level D like you fight me? At first, did you know that you could win?" "No, I didn't. I only bet on one game." He looked at him and answered, "Bet? How could you beat me? Running away is not the best way for the weak. Running away won't solve anything. The original species on your body, I have to have it." "You are from Heaven Net?" the original life species asked doubtfully. "No, he is also my target." Hearing Duan Fei's answer, "He persuaded you to join us, right? Join us?" He looked down at him and asked. "Yes, join Heaven Disaster. Heaven Net is also our enemy. Our Demon King is about to resurrect. By then, as long as I speak for you, you will definitely be able to join." Demon King? Original life species? Is there someone higher than the leader? That's right, the mission of our original life species is to resurrect the Demon King. As long as he resurrects, this world belongs to us. Moreover, he is about to resurrect. By then, you will join my team and you will definitely be able to defeat Heaven Net. Duan Fei asked back. Your team? It scared him. He corrected himself. You will be the team leader. It will be your team. Duan Fei put his hand on his head and said. You are right. Your acting skills are too poor. This is the expression of someone begging for mercy. Thank you for your information. And he activated his power and swallowed the reindeer, who screamed in fear. Stop it, you rotten kid. If you kill me, the other original life species won't let you go. Sooner or later, this world will belong to our disaster. Hear me out, have you understood? Stop it quickly. Duan Fei didn't stop but just said. The world you are talking about has passed 20 years ago. This time we won't let you escape. Whether it's Heaven Disaster or Heaven Net, they have to die. The target has died and the electric braking attribute has disappeared. Destroying the original life species of level B received 2,000 evolution points and original species. The original species containing the energy source was absorbed by the host's evolution tree and handed over to her. The evolution tree absorbed the original species. Duan Fei was shocked and terrified. The energy flowing in the body of the host was decomposing the original source. This original species was unexpectedly powerful. His body was about to explode. Combining the original source, Duan Fei screamed in pain. Xianyu witnessed it and asked worriedly, "What's wrong with your brother?" Anna calmly explained next to her, "Sister Xianyu, don't worry. Based on what happened when I went with him, every time he screamed like that, he would get a very powerful strength after absorbing the original species and refreshing new attributes." The notification board popped up, warning, mental power and assassination and the contract skill of the entity are in danger. The zombie in the house saw all the battle and saw that the situation had changed and decided, unexpectedly, the reindeer lost. I have to run away quickly. And it turned around and looked at the people who were tied up. These people belong to me now. Seeing him say that, the people were scared. What do you want to do? According to the promise, you have to let us go. The one who promised you is dead and has nothing to do with me. Before he could say anything else, he was chopped in half. He only had time to glance at him. You traitor. Number 21 and number 41 are all alike anyway. I have hated you for a long time. Our Miss Anna has successfully rescued these people. I understand. Report completed. Number 41, turn to number 21 and go quickly. Miss Anna has something to do with number 21 and number 41, along with A Fuang. Go out. Meet up with the three of Duan Fei. A Fuang asks Duan Fei, how is everything, Brother Don? My friend is in trouble, so I have to go there quickly. The time is a bit urgent. I will take you back to see your grandmother first. Seeing the situation was dangerous, A Fuang immediately said, then you go quickly and don't worry about me. I can go back by myself. The man next to A Fuang also said, that's right, you go ahead. I just heard Xiao Fuang tell me everything. I really didn't expect that the person who saved us was a young man like that. Next, just leave it to me. I will take Xiao Fuang back. In the future, I will take care of their family on behalf of the old lady. You can rest assured, I understand. The zombies on the island have all been wiped out. When you meet the old lady, come to the refugee camp. Duan Fei instructed her. Yes, I understand. Brother Don, we will meet again, right? A Fuang asked sadly. We will meet again, definitely. Duan Fei climbed onto Kim Bao and turned back and said. Anin also waved goodbye. Sister Xiao Fuang, take care of your health. The three of them set off together. Let's go, Kim Bao, use all your speed. Duan Fei worried. What about Hakka now? They may not be at the refugee camp anymore. What happened? Did they gather and go to war? And he asked about the evolution tree she had remembered. Just now she said that the original species and we have a relationship with each other from memories that have gradually recovered. I'm sure they in the evolution tree have a close relationship with each other. Wait a minute, you said that evolution tree is not you? Isn't it clear that the original species are not because of them but because of their devil king? In the memory there is no accurate information but everything points in one direction. The evolution tree is not only one. The mysterious person in Tian Wang, if he is a reincarnated person from the previous life, then how many evolution trees there are is not impossible. Everything is more complicated now. Now there is no time to think about this anymore. Saving people is more important. A zombie was hit by a stone in the middle of its face. Haka was making a move and wondered what was going on. These zombies are surrounding us, and there are also original worms and female demons. Disaster, the hand holding the chain, cut several zombies and said, "Not bad, I thought you guys would be down in one move." Haka quickly told the people behind him, "Everyone be careful, these zombies are not like before." And whispered to Lai Fong, "Your speed is the fastest, your team should hurry up and report to the law commander for help." Lai Fong worriedly asked Haka, "What about everyone else?" "We will hold them back for you. You find a chance to run away, Trangia. How follow my order and cooperate in combat. Leave it to me. Start fighting." The zombies looked around and the trees around them were uprooted and flew up and attacked straight towards the original species. A zombie ran out to block it and chopped up a few trees into pieces of wood. Company. The original species ordered the zombies, "Go teach them a lesson, but don't kill them, they are valuable energy sources." Haka shouted, "They're here, everyone be careful." "How is the accident on your side?" "It's not going well. La Duong's team has discovered our plan. Give me 10 more minutes. I will bring them to the primitive race's base and talk to their comrades." 10 minutes? Where is the reindeer? Has he returned yet? Not yet. I don't know what difficulties he has encountered. What difficulties? He's just playing around. Don't wait anymore. Let's start first. The people below are doing well. Yes, the Demon King can't wait any longer. The three of us should perform the ritual first. We still have to deal with the high-level people that Phantom brought. The people below are worried. Our captain is trapped here. What should we do? They are just zombies. They are nothing. Something is happening below the floor. What is that? The people below scream in fear. Seeing the situation on the other side, the primitive race's accident decided that it had started already. I have to hurry up too. A huge stone is flying towards the zombie and causes a huge collision. Haka quickly turns back and says, "Lai Fong, this is the time. Don't worry, I will bring reinforcements soon." Lai Fong uses his shadow body to find help, but he has to stop at one place. "My shadow body can't pass through this barrier," Lai Fong reports. "Your power reminds me of someone. He has the same power as you." The primitive race also appears behind Lai Fong and says, "I wonder if you know him or not." He asks dangerously. On the floor, there is blood and dust everywhere. Many people are lying dead or wounded. For the werewolf, they are just enough to warm up his bones a bit. He says, "It's so boring. None of them have any power." The brown-haired brother tries to calm his teammates and says, "Don't be afraid, it's just a zombie. Let's go together, teammates." He also shouts clearly. He is excited to attack them and says, "Good, struggle a bit. Let me show you what despair is." It turns out that faith alone is not enough. With one blow, he easily defeats 10 people. The remaining people trembled with fear. The more afraid they were, the more he liked it. He said, "You should feel honored to become a part of the Demon King." As he spoke, he created a dragon. They were terrified. Some ran away. Some trembled and could not stand up. They tried to crawl and escape. There were screams everywhere. Run quickly. The captain is not his match either. Damn it. We can't get out of here. What is going on? Save me. I don't want to die. With just a light swipe, he easily killed 10 people. He also scorned them as useless. The female demon said softly, "Can't you be quiet for a bit? Men are all crude and violent. Killing can also be very elegant, you know." She looked like that, but she had also used her skills to kill dozens of people. She asked the old man beside him, "How is it going?" The old man said confidently, "I can handle it. It's just a trivial matter." Thanks to Phantom's plan, the energy to revive the Demon King is almost full. Let's go and meet the leaders. The lower realm is not much better than this. The female demon Calamity said, "I didn't expect you to be so good. You can last until now." They attacked her barrier, but they failed. Damn it. Why can't we get out of here? She said arrogantly, "You are useless. To deal with the guy who has the same power as you, I specially found a zombie who can strengthen the barrier. The next time I meet him, it will be his death anniversary." She was angry and thought that the power similar to hers was Duan Fei. He also became the target of the zombies. She looked at them and said, "Okay, it's time. There are still many things to do behind." When Li Feng was angry because he couldn't get out, a horned guy hit him secretly. A punch in the back made him spit blood. Jiahao also tried to help him, but before he could do anything, Jiahao was grabbed by the head and smashed to the ground. The people behind couldn't stand the scene of their teammates being beaten and shouted for everyone to go together. But knowing the strength of Haka, he said, "Stop, you are not their opponents. We are originally a team, but we can't even deal with a zombie. The gap between humans and zombies is so big." She thought disappointedly. She just stood still and watched. She thought, great, let them live until they reach the base and then kill them all at once. They were all chained by her. They didn't have time to react. She said, "Take them all away. Those zombies are too strong. We can't do anything." She gasped and said, "Duan Fei, I'm running out of strength." Suddenly she stopped and realized something. She looked up at the sky and said, "This aura is the reindeer coming back?" Why? She was wrong. Besides the reindeer, there was also the aura of King Kuok. It was that kid. She sweated when she realized it was Duan Fei. He slammed the ground with a roar that shook a corner of the sky. He said, "Long time no see, disaster. You defeated the reindeer?" She asked incredulously, "The reindeer was defeated by you? How is that possible?" He ignored her and asked Taka, "Are you okay?" She said, "Duan Fei, I'm fine." He gently removed the collar from her neck and said, "Wait for me to deal with them and then tell me everything that happened." Anna and Xianu helped the injured. The girl said, "Leave it to Anna and Xianu." She asked Leon, "Are you okay?" He couldn't breathe but still tried to say, "Duan Fei, be careful. That guy seems to be aiming for you. The police have been controlled too." He looked confident and said, "Don't worry. They are just minions." Two of them rushed to their deaths. Each one attacked one side of him, but he was not afraid at all and still had a calm look in his eyes. With a wave of his hand, the two subordinates had their heads fly off. She smiled with excitement and said, "I didn't expect you to come here by yourself. That saves me the trouble of looking for you. But you scared me a bit, too. How did you defeat the reindeer?" He asked her, "What is your purpose for disguising yourself like this?" She also answered, "Nothing much. I just wanted to experience the life of your human race a little bit. Your human race is so pitiful. Tens of thousands of soldiers were lured to our trap. Like this, the victory will belong to us. This world will soon be ours." She looked at Anna and said, "That's the key? Why is it here?" It seems that the reindeer wanted to make a big contribution this time. But this time it belongs to me. As long as I have that key, the position of elder of the original race will be mine. Go up and crush everyone except this guy for me. He was not afraid of those shrimps and crabs. He rushed over and used his skills. They were tied by a magic chain and sucked into the black holes he created. No one protected her. He kicked her hard. But there was a guy who came out of nowhere and was ready to block her. A powerful kick made his head dent. He glanced at her and said, "It's your turn now." She smiled wickedly and said, "Watch out behind you. There is a big three-eyed guy right behind you. He is about to punch you." But with his experience and agile body, he reacted in time. He threw a punch without fear or hesitation. But with the strength difference, the guy's arm broke. After that, he also jumped to another place to keep a safe distance from him. She stood behind him and gave him a clap, then said, "Indeed, after absorbing the reindeer, your strength has increased a lot more than before." The rocks that broke from the guy's arm suddenly ignited. "But you are not the only one who has become stronger. After being defeated by you, I have been constantly upgrading myself. This is my new masterpiece in front of you. A hybrid zombie. It can absorb energy from around and use them. It includes not only the energy of dead zombies, but also the energy of nature." The zombie tried to smash him with his palm, but he dodged it with his nimble body. He was a bit surprised by the new power. Li Fong reminded him, "Duan Fei, be careful. That zombie has suppressed our abilities." She was still confident about her new power and said, "Your ability here is useless. Why don't you go inside the fortress and fight with those zombies?" The old man asked Tainan, "What's going on? Is it over yet?" "Just now, the aura of the reindeer and the shockwave appeared on your side. Could it be that she was right and he is dead?" "That kid is fighting with my subordinates here," he said angrily. "How about you? Do you need help?" "No need. I can control the situation. I must kill that kid." He said, "Understood. We have guests coming. You better finish it quickly. There is another group of people coming here." Someone reported, "Hello everyone, this is the headquarters of the zombies. This is also the final battle. We are about to win." The bald man asked, "Is this their base?" "It's quite impressive, huh?" The fat man was full of confidence and said, "Impressive? They are about to become lifeless corpses." La Duong reminded everyone not to be arrogant and keep alert. The old man asked the group of people, "What are you doing here?" "Of course, we are here to take your lives. We have to take back the piece that you have hidden for so long." They were angry because they were underestimated. They discussed with each other, "Damn, that phantom guy is playing too much. Why does our boss have to cooperate with him? Just kill them directly." Phantom said, "Among them, there is someone who knows the information of the key. For now, just listen to him. It's really annoying. Tainan also needs some time." On her side, she was stunned to see the power that Duan Fei used. With just one punch, he punched through his body. She also sweated and thought, "I didn't expect him to be able to easily deal with them all." She quickly ordered him to stop him. "Yes," her subordinate answered. But with just one move, he was also knocked down. He stepped out of the barrier and said, "You shouldn't think that this can stop me." He broke her barrier. She was scared and said, "Why is this kid so different? No way, I have to retreat." She said arrogantly, "Don't be proud. Next time I will definitely kill you. You wait for me." She used a technique to escape. He said to Xian, "You stay here and take care of the injured people. I'll chase after her." She also replied, "I know, brother. Be careful." He chased after her with a whip. Ka Bao told Lai Fong to quickly go to the base and bring some warriors here. Then he told everything to La Commander. The man raised his two arms that were tightly wrapped with bandages all over his arms. He looked at them and praised the bandages. Not bad, the two wounded were quite serious. They kept patting their heads and praising the skillful technique of little Anna, whom they constantly called little girl, making her a bit angry. She boasted, "My name is Anna, not little girl. I used to get hurt a lot and I always bandaged myself." Another man wearing black clothes like the other two lay on the ground with a chain around his neck that had been broken. His face was full of wounds and he looked bewildered and scared. The monster number 21 held a weapon on his back. His abs and muscular body were clearly visible. He said with a big face, "Hey, can you shut up for a bit? If I accidentally hit your head, it won't be good for you." Anna shouted at number 21, "Who are you to scare people like that?" He grumbled, "Why do I have to do this?" She put her hands on her hips and reminded him seriously, "And you, I have to tell you this, not all zombies are bad, okay?" He put his hand on the ground and stuttered, "Sorry." Tran Jiahao smiled happily while being bandaged. He didn't expect that Anna would dare to communicate with strangers now. He remembered the first time he met Duan Fei. She didn't talk to anyone. Xianyu carefully and gently bandaged him and agreed. That's right, she also just learned that since she was little, she lived alone. She is even stronger than me. Anna smiled brightly after solving everything. Jiahao also hoped that she would be well protected by Duan Fei so that she could grow up healthy and happy in the future. Xianyu also trusted her brother. She had long regarded Anna as her sister. The night fell and the sky was full of stars and a bright full moon. A bright blue energy source flew past in front of them on the forest road. What's going on? That kid has become stronger. This person was the Demoness Disaster. She was flying forward while mumbling whether to inform them or not, then the credit would be shared less. At the same time, a dark shadow with bright eyes suddenly flew up to her level. He said, "You think you can escape from me a second time?" It was Duan Fei. He flew up and punched her hard, making her dizzy and painful and flying up into the sky. Her eyes were red and her face was full of wounds. She lay under Duan Fei's feet, who was burning with fire in his hand, and threatened her, "Without those zombie puppets, you are just trash." She looked up at him and smiled and said, "Wait a minute, as long as you don't." He cut her off. The Demoness seemed to know their purpose of wanting him to join them. His eyes were soulless and he said bluntly, "I've heard these words from the reindeer's mouth already. You guys seem to be far behind him in terms of skill." After she breathed her last breath, she didn't even beg me for a word. "You guys have even thrown away your last dignity," he said. The beauty opened her eyes anxiously and waited. Before she could speak, she was grabbed by Duan Fei's head and he activated his skill to seize the energy from her hand. The blue energy ran down her body like lightning and made her scream in pain. He received a primordial seed that looked like a purple crystal and shone brightly. His body also began to absorb the energy. The primordial Duan Fei's veins bulged and he clenched his teeth because it seemed like the energy was too much for him. A terrifying force surrounded him and he bent his back and stood firmly with the energy bursting everywhere. The system announced that he had successfully absorbed the energy and his physical strength increased by 3 levels, his speed by 2 levels, and his assassination by 2 levels. The leaf that fell was burned by the fire. Duan Fei slowly opened his eyes and they shone with power. He turned his face and looked confused. What had happened? There were 3 huge streams of energy nearby and many more people. His clothes were torn and full of holes. He decided to quickly explore the situation around him. The old man from the 3 dragons felt something was wrong. He widened his eyes and looked worried. The werewolf then panicked and shouted, "Elder Tainan, she." He lowered his head sadly. "I know, calm down. That guy is chasing us. The image requested to continue to maintain his human identity and then look for an opportunity to ask for information about the key while they would split up and deal with the people here first. The broadcaster held the mic and approached the devil dragon and yelled. As you can see, there are only 3 zombies left. If we kill them, we will win. They all had 6-pack abs and looked fierce with murderous eyes. Among them were 2 guys named Devil Shadow and Devil Dragon who were the strongest and kept challenging. The Devil Dragon sneered confidently. The Elder was pleased and ordered to attack. At the same time, everyone gathered in the forest and sat on large wooden blocks for a fun time. Haka sat next to Xinu and gently lowered his head and said, "When you were not there, we went through a lot of things." Li Feng suddenly appeared behind the 2 girls and landed like a spider. He was surrounded by energy. He frowned unhappily. Things were not going well. The other teams had all been wiped out. Haka turned around and was shocked. "What did you say? Where is La Commander?" He replied that he didn't know and there was no sign of fighting at the base. Maybe they have arrived there already. Xinu lifted up the puppy Kim Bao and said seriously, "Can you feel where those missing people are?" Kim Bao flapped his wings and barked. Xinu also followed Kim Bao's direction. Anna quickly ran over and asked Han about La Commander having some trouble and needing to find his brother. Haka said, "Let's go too, La Commander is the soul of our refugee camp, we can't wait here." Ahau and Jiahao, wearing bulky armor, were ready to depart. Xinu was ordered by her senior sister to go ahead and let everyone follow behind to support. La Commander looked dumbfounded and couldn't believe what he saw. How could this be? His entire army was wiped out even though there were clearly only 3 zombies left on their side. The old man on the side of the monsters ordered Blaze Wolf to attack the flying wolf that soared into the sky. He was ready with his sharp claws and pounced on his opponent, making him stunned and motionless. La Commander was terrified and widened his eyes. Fortunately, Hua Commander arrived in time and raised his sword to block the attack of Blaze Wolf. That wolf sneered and showed his sharp teeth. His eyes were red as if he despised them. He jumped back and stayed away from them. Hua Commander glanced at him and said to La Commander, "You can see the situation now. Every minute on the battlefield is very precious. Where's the war god that you sent to support the city in the last time?" He replied gratefully, "Thank you very much for saving me, but I don't know the news of the war god at the moment." He heard that and then glanced at his eyes that were shining and the veins around them. He said, "Is that so? That's a pity." He turned his face and shouted, "Tak Lang, act now. This guy is useless now." The wolf roared from afar and flew towards them with his sharp claws. He said, "Then you save yourself." La Commander was still stunned behind Hua Commander's back when the wolf flew into the air and rushed straight towards him. He bowed his head and wished him good luck before disappearing. Tak Lang quickly slapped the ground with his hand, making rocks fly everywhere with a terrifying energy. Then he glared at him with a puzzled look. La Commander also looked to the side and was surprised to see something. Duan Fei had been standing in front of the wolf since then. He raised one hand to block the attack casually. The other hand punched the wolf's face in an instant, making it clench its teeth in pain. The system notified him that he had hit a weak point and received a 4% attribute. The Tak Lang took the hit and flew back to hit the rock wall, making dust fly everywhere. Hua Commander stood next to him and angrily asked, "What is this? Didn't you say he lost contact?" Duan Fei glanced at him and thought, "What's wrong with this guy? He emits a zombie aura very clearly." He roared around as if threatening them. He said, "This attack is commanded by me, a high-ranking officer of the base camp. If you are here, you have to follow my orders." He explained after blocking the attack, "I told you before that there is something important to do here. This place gathers all the original races who want to revive the Devil King. The arrival of the human army is also part of their plan. They want to turn humans into sacrifices. He had heard of this in his previous life. The imposter commander was probably also an original race, but he didn't need to push him yet. They needed to reduce their combat ability first. The Phantom and Dragon were both covered with wounds. The little one complained, "Big brother, he is the one who killed the second brother and bullied me." The dragon calmly warned him not to provoke him because he saw that he was very powerful. He quickly contacted his boss to ask for his opinion on how to deal with him. The answer was not yet. He asked them to continue pretending. If Duan Fei was here, then the key might be nearby too. He could feel two sources of power approaching here. The wolf, after being injured, was like a wild beast that opened its mouth wide and rushed towards him angrily. Around Duan Fei's body at this time, there was a source of energy like lightning. His eyes were full of killing intent. He said, "Leaving a part of myself at La Commander is probably enough." He reminded him to be careful behind him. He pounced and shouted, "You killed the reindeer, didn't you?" But he missed a blow in front of him. He quickly stood behind him in an instant. His eyes flashed. He also felt it and shuddered. Duan Fei continuously attacked the wolf. In a certain closed room, there was a report. A young man suddenly appeared on the battlefield. He was probably the war god of the refugee camp. After hearing the report, everyone was happy and shouted, "War god." They were also very anxious and did not know who would be the final winner. Lang Wunwun watched attentively with his hand on his chest, hoping he would win. He silently cheered for him. A female demon stood with her arms crossed and annoyed. Why didn't the boss help? After all, the opponent had defeated 3 original races. He replied that he knew, but he had other things to do. He couldn't get any energy sources in the southwest. He needed to collect the most important energy source to revive the Demon King. A sharp look flashed in the darkness. He felt something. They were still fighting. The others kept admiring Duan Fei. A light flashed across the head of the demon shadow. Blood splashed everywhere. The remaining one accidentally looked away and saw his body lying flat on the ground motionless. A monster called continuously appeared with a large bottle of medicine on its back. It approached them. The people around saw it and were confused. They lined up in a long queue just to follow orders and escape from school. The monsters kept sticking out their tongues ferociously. They quickly rushed up together at the same time to face the enemy at once. Everyone clenched their teeth to resist those sharp teeth. Duan Fei turned around and looked at it. What is this? It doesn't look like a zombie very much. At the same time, the wolf pounced quickly and raised his claws to attack him. Duan Fei saw that and was a little surprised. He made a fist and counterattacked. They attacked each other at the same time, creating a strong reaction everywhere. His other hand quickly grabbed his hand. He widened his eyes and was pulled down, creating a big explosion due to the strong collision with the ground. Duan Fei threw his hand forward and activated his skill to swallow the opponent. The wolf was stunned and only stood still in confusion. His hairy legs were sharp and pointed up to the sky like planting bananas. His legs slammed down from above to attack him. He noticed and swung both hands as shields to block his attack. He flipped over his body and his hand was scratched by his claws, so he quickly retreated back.